So, how do you eat a sandwich that's been emailed to you in megabytes? I thought it was funny. It's kind of a bad joke. I was trying to break the ice here. So, who is this colorful guy that's on your screen right now, and why should you care? Well, he's a saint for starters. Saint Cyprian of Antioch. It's a big name. Um, what is Antioch? And where the hell is it? Antioch is a region in Turkey right now, the country. It was originally ancient Syria. It's back in the day, borders used to intersect with one another, so one country was part of another country. Anyway, some time ago, before the Turks came, believe it or not, the region was filled with Greeks. Probably more Greeks here than Greece itself. So Cyprian was born around the 3rd century to a prominent family who gave him a vast education. And from the sources, some say, he was like born in Carthage, North Africa, or maybe Asia Minor. The details really don't dig too much into it, but I'll just continue on for story's sake. Okay, why is he so special? Well, before he became a follower of God, he was a sorcerer. No, not the Harry Potter type, but he practiced magic, conjuring things, the dark arts, stuff like that. He was a full-fledged pagan and was proud of it. Until one day he met Justina. Now, Justina was a young, beautiful woman and devout follower of Christianity. In fact, so devout that she, joined the nunnery and, ran an abbot and all that stuff. Basically a, female version of a priest. I'm sure, Cyprian was probably surprised by this. Anyway, Cyprian, he wanted her bad. And just so happened to be a magician of all sorts. So he tried, all sorts of magic tricks, spells and elixirs, and it just wasn't working out. So a friend of his, who also was a sorcerer, tried to put her under a spell. Some fellow pagan was trying to help Cyprian out, saying, "Hey, I got spells for you, man. Love spells. Let's see if they work." But, after all pulling, all these tricks in the book, spells, potion, none of it worked. Broke his spirit. And he made the ultimate sacrifice. And guess what? He converted to Christianity. With the help of his beloved Justina. That's right. I took the girl of his dreams to make him see the path of God, I guess. And, that actually happened. So he started, burning all his pagan books of, astrology and science and, spells and all that. One story, actually I heard that Satan himself came to him and said, "Yo, Cyprian, what are you doing, man? Don't, convert to the whole Christianity thing. That's crazy. You'll die." And, Cyprian just kind of ignored him and made the sign of a cross, and, that was it. Kind of giving the old middle finger to Satan, saying, "Fuck off." So, later on, Cyprian, he rose up the ranks of the church, eventually becoming a bishop. It's pretty impressive. Needless to say, his life was changed. Until he was martyred, that is. Martyred. Sorry, I can't talk. In 304 AD, the Roman Emperor Diocletian found out about these conversions and had them detained indefinitely in Damascus. It's another part of Syria. And what happened next was round and rounds of torture to the both of them. That's what, Diocletian, that's what he did. He wasn't a big fan of Christianity, and he definitely made his mark. The only thing is with them, their faith was never wavering. I guess he wanted them to, renounce their newfound religion, and it just wasn't happening. Probably pissed off his men, and, long story short, it led to both of them being decapitated. Yeah, so got their heads cut off. And it just so happens a follower or a traveler that saw Cyprian go through his trials and tribulations there converted to Christianity as well, and also got executed along with them. You see the trend here, guys? It was bad being a Christian back then. But yeah, so both their bodies, Cyprian and Justina, were unburied, I guess just decaying in the spot where they were beheaded, probably in some cave. So while that was going on, some Christian sailors came, later down the line, obviously, a couple days later, took their bodies and brought them to Rome, of all places. Yeah, you would think, you would take someone who was just killed by Romans to somewhere not Rome. Well, I guess, they had other plans. And these plans must have worked. And so Cyprian was upset about this. And with that, some noble lady named Rufina, who I assume was a supporter of Christianity, and she just never got caught. But yeah, she kind of took in their bodies and, I guess, watched them and claimed them as saints and so on and so forth. And thus their final resting place would be none other than Constantine's Basilica. And Constantine, as you may or may not know, eventually becomes Constantine the Great, another Roman emperor who makes it, great for Christians again. He legalizes Christianity, and that's a whole other story. But anyway, yeah, so Cyprian and Justina, their bodies, join the saintlyhood and go into this basilica, from Constantine on his behalf, I guess. Or where he's resting currently. I'm not sure. But, yeah. And there you have it. I seriously think this has movie or stage play material. It's definitely worthy of, seeing, something like this go down on the screen. I think it would be enjoyable anyway. Just, it has that, that feel to it. It would be like a play or something. Or a short movie. I don't know. But, just for example, that warning that the devil gave Cyprian, if you convert, you die. That kind of sort of deal. And it happened. Now we'll never know if every detail of this story, or how it exactly went down, but, this is written, this is recorded, and during the same era. And, it's kind of, hard to cross-reference and, deny the facts. It's there, black and white. Just think about the balls of this guy, though, Cyprian, right? Giving up his pagan ways for a new life. The outcome wasn't, I guess, paradise. I mean, but who knows? He died believing what he believed in was the right way till the end. And guess what? Those actions made him a saint. So, who gets the last laugh, right? But sure, I'm sure he's still, revered by occultists. They still, represent Cyprian in their own way, of course. Because, before, the whole God-loving Christian, he was a pagan. And he made a lot of fans of the pagan world, even to this day. I believe he's even the patron saint of mages, magicians and occultists and so on. But, he's a saint in the Christian world. So, it's kind of like a split down the middle, 50-50 there. That's why I think he's so unique for him to be, thought about so many years later by both, sects, Christians and pagans alike. You don't see too much of that. Yeah, I just think it makes a great story, and I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys. It kind of makes me wish I was a bug on the wall, watching this guy's day-to-day life. But yeah, there you have it. The dude abides. I hope you enjoyed this little history lesson about a extraordinary saint. Let me know what you think. So yeah, until next time, guys, thanks for listening, and see you later. Peace.